Big shout out everybody watching this J Round Point breaking news. This is breaking news, so this is gonna be a live. We're gonna be talking about Don Lemon arrested, latest news.
Former prosecutor because their options were limited. The thing about going in front of a grand jury that our audience needs to understand is, the old saying is very much so true that you can indict a ham sandwich. It is not difficult to get an indictment when you have a presentation in front of the grand jury. Speaking as a former prosecutor, and one of the reasons why, for people who don't know that, is it's a secret proceeding. It is a proceeding that is effectively run by the prosecutor. There is no magistrate there. There is no judge there. There is no arbiter. It is basically the prosecutor presents whatever facts they choose to present. The defendant has a right in most cases to testify, but in most cases will not testify. The defense attorney cannot ask any questions or be present if their client is not testifying. And so no one actually knows what was said, who presented, what witnesses they presented.
So in other words, it seems like Don Lennon has gone through the same type of federal secret grand indictment that Brian Kohlberger went through. That's what it seemed in the conversation after three different attempts to arrest Don Lemon. Three different judges said no, and they went the federal route, which I was wondering if they would have done that. And they actually, it seems like federal statute is very powerful, you know. Big shout outs. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Big shout out to Jane. Big shout out to Jane and Jane. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Good afternoon there in the UK. Beautiful UK. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for being here with the host of the most, the thing to the tango, the G to the Django, J Round Point breaking news. Don Lemon got arrested. As soon as I started the live stream to go live, I did tag him, and it seems they send the emergency team to do damage control. Which again, we're gonna talk about both sides of the spectrum. Again, we are live, so it's gonna be at some points that I'm gonna have to shut off the camera to handle live situations, live phone calls, live communications. I have the team out there, everybody scattered. We want to know what's going on as super cyber sleuthers, journalists, cyber sleuthers, you know what I'm saying? We want to know the truth, what's going on, the reasons for the arrest and all that. We're going to enter in all that discussion. I'm thinking about it. I might throw the link in the chat. Big shout out to all those new subscribers. They just enter the On Point family. Very so much appreciated. Post no diddy, no doubt. And let's start the conversation. Do you agree or disagree with Don Lemon getting arrested? We're going to talk about both sides of the spectrum. Big shout out to Don Lemon. You know, we wish him the best. People make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Everything is alleged into proven guilty. You know, big shout out to the staff, you know what I mean, of Don Lemon. You know, he got a pretty tight operation going on his channel, which he shows nothing but success. So big shout out to him. Hopefully everything goes well with whatever he got going on right now facing the federal government. Again, I don't advise no one to go and protest and go inside of a no type of, like, it don't matter what was the religion. You should bring your political problems to church. It should be a separation between state and the church, which is in the Constitution of the United States of America, protected by the Constitution of the United States of America, the separation of power. In the same way, it's a separation of power, it's a separation of respect. Like one is not going to interfere with the other unless is any criminal situation going on. But if it's everything by the book of the law, it's no interfering with no type of religion, uh unless they not breaking any, United States statutes and stuff like that, the churches and the, you know the mosques and everything else is they have the freedom to honor their culture. It is cultural. They have the opportunity to manifest their culture with freedom and protections here in the United States of America. So when situations like the ICE protests in the United States of America happen, it don't matter where it is. It could be Minnesota, it could be wherever it is. If it's a blue state, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be some kind of conflict. Um, they try to do some red states, and that doesn't fly. They're all getting arrested, they're all getting identified, they're all getting processed. And if it's any link with Antifa, now that Antifa is a terrorist group, they're all getting booked. It's just like, if it was honest, in my opinion, if he was honest, regular Joes, regular Janes, real Americans, they see a problem with the system. And I believe that those brothers and sisters would behave accordingly, and they would protest the right way. They would talk to the city council. They will go through the political avenues that are available in United States of America to proceed in some way, somehow. If there's any problem with the laws, we the people have the opportunity. The government of the United States of America allow us and give us the opportunity and the rights to gather, group up, and go with our concerns to the government in a proper way, in a legal way, in a way that the manifestation looks elegant, in a way that the manifestation look good for us, we the people, citizens of United States of America. Don't matter your culture, don't matter your race. You're United States of America citizen. You are we the people. And we should speak as such. So in situations like in the situation of Don Lennon, for clout and opportunity of growth within his side of the political spectrum, sometimes I believe that journalists like him that were very famous. I mean, if you ask me, he's still famous right now as it is, because he's going viral right now with this situation. I don't know if that was like the whole reason behind it. It's my opinion that a lot of content creators, a lot of journalists, especially when they fall a little bit, especially after he got fired from CNN. um I believe that he went through a little struggle for a while, but then he came up and YouTube doing great, doing amazing content from his side of the left. um so much kudos and respect for him for looking good towards his crowd. But I understand as a human that people make mistakes. Sometimes people mentality gets clouded for political reasons. I get that, and give people the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, you have to be very concerned with your safety and security. You could have your political opinion. You could protest again. You could have a very strong opinion about what's going on in the political spectrum. But at the same time, you have to do it as just and as legal as possible, so situations like this don't occur. Let's continue to listening. Federal secret grand indictment. As always, everybody knows that the word on the streets is that you could indict a peanut butter sandwich. Again, the same thing happened with Brian Kohlberger in the Idaho 4 case. that we have talked about it in depth in this channel and in the main channel, J Raw on Point. Would I advise you to please click like, subscribe, and share the content in both channels, so like that you get the latest new true crime news. I'm getting there. You see what I'm doing here? The latest true crime news in the YouTube true crime community. Big shout out to Jane. Big shout out to Jen. We are live right now. Let me get to the chat real quick before we continue with the content. We have the content. Big shout out to every and all parties involved in this content, this conversation. We pay homage and respect to the content. Big shout out to Don Lennon and his staff. Big shout out to all of y'all. You know, it's fair to agree to disagree. They are in the left. I'm in the middle right. Middle right. I consider myself middle right, but I'm more right than middle. I just see things in a respectful way. That's what I want to say. I have grown as a content creator and as a person for the past, I don't know, 12 years. I have grown. I have grown as a grown adult. I have become a little bit more eloquent and more thoughtful in the way I process my thoughts and stuff like that. I like to really talk with a lot of common sense. So I think I have developed my growth skills. I understand that even though I disagree with the left, I majority of the times I disagree with the people that they call themselves in the fence. Again, I'm respect the fence, but I'm right. I don't want to. I'm national United States of America Constitution. Our forefathers. Big shout out to those on the yacht and all that. Like this, I honor. I'm loyal. I respect our president, United States of America, either matter if he's from the left or from the right. As long as you're the president of the United States of America, I respect you, even though I didn't vote for you, or if that I disagree with you. In this case, I voted for Donald Trump. So even though if I ever disagree with Donald Trump, big shout out to the boss. Shout out to the boss. Hey, listen, for those that don't know, we grew up, my era, we grew up looking up to Donald Trump and the hip hop community in Puerto Rico and United States. Like Donald Trump is being the dawn for years and years in New York, in the United States, and in Europe. Because he's base of his families from Europe. They have mad respect and mad love in Europe and United States and around the world. People don't get it. People act like they hate Donald Trump. They don't. they could act like they hate him, but behind closed door, he's like, yo, he did it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we grew up. I'm 48 years old. We grew up looking up to Donald Trump. So when he went to be president the first time, yeah, I voted for him. Shit, I was blindly. I was like, bro, listen, if this ship is gonna sink, I'm sinking with it, sir. Big shout out to Donald Trump. Then the allegations are when he ran again. The allegations are, don't listen to me. Listen to the allegations. Word on the street is that the Democratic Party stole the elections, that they allegedly stole the elections, and then blamed Donald Trump from the invasion of the Capitol, January 6th. Allegedly, a lot of FBI agents on the ground and allowed to all these to happen. I don't know. Listen, big shout out to the FBI. Listen, we good. I'm just saying, like, that's word on the street, allegations. You go and do your own homework. We just here talking about the content, try to have the best opportunity to connect with you. The true crime community is here. J. On point, the On Point family. We just trying to have great conversations with the people that want to have great conversation. This is the forum that we having today in breaking news status. You know, we had to come real quick, pop the camera on, try to reach out with our community, have great conversations. Because again, we are in the same line of work, even though we are left, even though we are right. Listen, we are in the same type of work, content, YouTube content, and we will talk about it. Let's let's do it in the best way possible. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to Jane. We're gonna get to the chat real quick. We're gonna get to the chat before we get back to the content. Let's see what we got here. Jane said hi to Jane. Yep. All the J's are in the house. Yep. Jane said, yep, the church is not the place. I totally agree with you though. Like it is places for everything, and it's ways and manners for everything. Is all about not losing your morals while you at it. You know, try to be the best you again. If it's a problem with the system, how you gonna try to fix the problem with the system becoming a problem for the system? It will defeat itself. It gets voided because it's like the system is in power, but then you try to fix the system in an illegal way, which is shows that you by force try to change the system. So that shows that is no communication, no conversation, no attitude for you to be a problem solver to actually fix the system. Because in the way that you go about it, you want to go about it with violence when we could sit down at the table with the boss, Donald Trump, and negotiate and have conversations and be smart about it. Make sure that we think about our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, everybody that is in our family when we try to take decisions out there. We can be selfish, and us as community, we're gonna start dividing ourselves to the point that you're gonna stop being friends with people from the left. You're gonna start harassing people from the right. Is in my opinion, it's not necessary. It's like all good relationships. You just have to have conversations. You just have to agree and disagree with whatever is the problem, and some way, somehow, meet each other right in the middle. Just be fair, be human, be tough, but be kind. You know what I'm saying? It's a show of growth. Big shout out to everyone watching. It's J. On Point. Jane said, okay, this was a blue state. Yes, Jane, it was a blue state from the Democratic Party. Uh, you gotta help me with big shout out in the conversation in the chat. I think I'm middle. Jane said, I think I'm middle left in the UK, more middle. Yeah, you see, Jane, I totally understand. I remember in the first commentaries, I remember in the first commentary, we used to disagree a lot until we found a middle ground. I think this is the same thing that we talk about. You have very strong positions in favor to the left, which I 100% um, disagree. But at the same time, we found a way to understand from where we come from and understand that the best way to go about it is keep having conversations to find a way to agree and disagree and keep moving, being community, you know, still being YouTube true crime, and that we able to communicate and agree disagree and keep enjoying the show. I think that that's the basis of content creation, is communicate with those out there, have conversations, and find a way to do it as polite as possible, but without losing the strong potency of the commentary. That's what it's all about. You know, Jane said, "Yep, no problem. I agree to disagree." Yep, 100%, Jane. We've been around each other in true crime for many, many years, and I mean many, many years, 3 to 4 years, which is for me many, many years. And I really do appreciate everything, all the conversations and the commentary. You are very smart and very strong, and we do appreciate you. Another boss lady in the chat. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Hopefully she watching in the background. Big shout out to her and everyone else that is watching live right now. Let's listen back to the staff of Don Lemon and see what else they got going on and see if they got some breaking news. We will listen to it for a little bit and then we're gonna go to the news cycle real quick to see what is the conversation, and then we're gonna come back and compare what is being said in the news media outlets and what is being said here by his team. By the way, now that we talk about that, let me make sure that I have everything in the production taken care of. Let me get it all situated. We are live right now. Make sure to click like, subscribe, and share the content. Don't you forget, please subscribe to the On Point Rican and J Rock On Point. We have more breaking news. We give an opportunity to the news cycle to regenerate. It's a lot, and even CNA came with a hit piece real quick, you know. Breaking news. Everybody want a piece of the pot. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they listen. Talking about a piece in the pot. Listen, make sure to hit the cash out the On Point family. Every single dollar that you put for this great family, this great true crime family, the On Point family and community, everything that you donate to us is gonna go right back to this production and the family. Thank you so much, very so much appreciated. We're here keeping in touch with what's been going on. We're gonna look back to whatever was going on. Let's say back a week ago. We're also gonna be looking uh, at the video of that occurrence at the church. We're gonna take a little um look through. So like that, you have your own opinion. Okay, I think we got something here. Let's breaking news. Breaking news. Hold on.
If anything, the events of today reinforce Homeland Security.
Okay, okay.
It's unconscionable and it's un-American. This administration continues to weaponize the Department of Justice, weaponize the Department of Homeland Security, weaponize the power of government to undermine the ability of everyday Americans to live their best life because they're so consumed with jamming their right-wing extremism down the throats of the American people. We will not be intimidated by any of their actions. We will stay the course as it relates to making sure that we actually fund the government in a manner that is consistent with our values, consistent with the Constitution, and consistent with the American way of life. It's a big difference between the Trump administration, Republicans, on the one hand, and how Democrats want to spend your taxpayer dollars on the other. Republicans, in their one big ugly bill, enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, ripped health care away from more than 14 million Americans, and at the same period of time, took 186 billion.
That's too political. That's too political. That's too political. We wanna look that information. We wanna look that details. We want to look that great journalism and coverage. That's what we're looking for. Who's out there talking about it? JLR is not talking about this. Hold on, it cannot be. JLR is not talking about it. I don't know. In my opinion, JLR might be from the left, and that's why he's not covered to not amplify and not have an opinion about the Don Lemon situation, to not compromise his take. Mad respects to JLR. The guy is very smart. Listen, I don't care what people say about JLR. The guy is very smart. Um, Even though I disagree a lot with him as far as his takes and his information, and it's confirmed many, many times the lies that he have put out there, the alleged lies that he have put out there. Again, we could compare what he been talking about the Idaho 4 and Brian Colbert case and compare it with the documents that had come out and the story, everything. We got it together, rewrite in the middle, and you could see that everything apparently it was a lie, in my opinion. So big shout outs to JLR and everything that he got going on. Big channel in the YouTube true crime community. Amazing guy, very, very polite in the commentary, even though let's totally disagree with him. But listen, it respect to the content, respect to the content. Big shout out to JLR. Keep it up, man. Keep up the good work. But we what we got here breaking inside Don Lennon's arrest. TMC, man, listen, I don't want to get my channel strike with TMC, man. Big shout outs to them. Keep up the good work. Let's see. Come on, something ABC News. All right, let's try it
And
out.
Raising Cane's, we broke.
All right, but man, commercials. Why? Oh, let the commercial go away. I'm not gonna pay the plus. I'm not. And then they give you one commercial, they give you two commercials, and if you are lucky enough, they give you three commercials, and you have to wait for it. Can't even skip it. Whoa. Listen, YouTube is incredible. Big shout out to those in the yacht. Big shout out to Google. Thank you for YouTube. I very much appreciate you. But we got breaking news. Breaking news. Don Lemon in Spanish, Don Limon. In Spanish, Don Limon. And you know, limes and limones and lemons are sour. I wonder why he picked that name. Anyway, big shout out. Let's see what we got here. Let's continue.
Hi, I'm Diana Macedo. We have breaking news. The Justice Department confirms journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection to an anti-ICE protest at a Minnesota church. Earlier this month, protesters interrupted worship.
That's crazy. They were literally they were in church. I know these days is really not nothing really unbiased. Like and that right there is a statement that I could respect. Because at this day today, uh with the news out there these days, you have to read right down the middle. You can't just take an opinion without do a little bit of looking through it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta take your time and listen different sources. And I think that when you do a good homework on whatever information you want to listen to and pay attention to, you have to do your homework and your own little research real quick if you really care and concerned about the subject. Because you know, especially as a true crime content creator, you have to look twice and triple the information that you already gather. Sometimes you have to filter so many times the information way before you even put it in the air. Because 9 times out of 10, like, listen, if you don't pay attention to the information, you're not gonna have a good not a good understanding of the information, and your conclusions and your takes and your commentary is not gonna be on point. It's not gonna be close to be on point. You know, it is very important for people that are here in the true crime community to start have like some kind of discernment and really speak from their heart instead of speaking like from the mind, and we they try to get clout and stuff, and be agreeing with a side of people that really is not gonna get you nowhere, which probably be a bigger crowd and bigger support and stuff like that. But at the same time, when they do disagree with you, they slander you and stuff like that. So you really, at the end of the day, you don't want that crowd in your chat room from the get, because it's just not gonna go well either way. You'll get support for a little bit, and then as soon as you say something that they disagree with, oh man, this, and they throw tomatoes at you. Big shout out to everybody.
Services at City's Church in St. Paul, where one of the pastors leads the local ICE field office. Now, Lemon is the latest person to face potential charges for allegedly violating worshipers' First Amendment rights. ABC's Trevor Alt has the latest.
Hey there, Diane. So this was pretty shocking news to hear announced from Don Lemon's attorney that he was taken into custody overnight here in Los Angeles. They say he was here covering the Grammys, but the arrest stems from an incident earlier this month in Minneapolis.
He was about to cover the Grammys. Wow. So in the middle of covering the Grammys in the West Coast, that's crazy. Wow. I mean, literally, they track you, they find you anywhere you at. That's point blank, period.
It's a protest at a church where the pastor is an ICE agent. Now, we know that the Trump administration had been trying to charge 8 people in that incident.
Listen, in my opinion, even if the pastor, for real, I know, Jay, even covering the Grammys, it's like, listen, you don't get no protection. You break the law, you're gonna get it. I don't care what I gotta do. As long as it's legal, I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to arrest you. Period. Don't resist. Taser, taser, taser. You know what I'm saying? But listen, even in my opinion, even if the pastor was in reality a ICE agent, or either a ICE supporter, or even a ICE family member, listen, this church is sacred. You don't bother religion, again, especially for political cause, especially if that cause is wrong. It's just like, we're not gonna start with that, with the immigration system commentary, not right now. We are gonna focus on the situation, on protesting in church, interrupting the service. In the middle of the service, protesters, I repeat, interrupting the service. You know, back in the days, how many grandmothers, mothers, dads, grandpas, cousins, brothers and sisters, second cousins, third sister, auntie, or people that you don't even know, they are your family members, and they're all in church. Back in the days when I was a youngin', listen, if you dare, listen, my grandmother was a co-pastor in the Pentecost church. My grandma, at this day today, she's still alive. God bless you, grandma. I love you. She was a co-pastor in the Pentecost church. I'm telling you, you wouldn't interrupt the service. It don't matter what was your cause. You get dragged out the door. You get picked, feet dangling. Of course, you are not gonna get hurt unless you obey. Oh, you will be lifted up off your feet and put outside the fence. please don't come back. Or else, by the time that message is delivered, 911 call is being already called while first contact through the middle of taking you out. By the time we putting you out safe and sound, the cops will pick you up. Hopefully you do not resist the Christian community while they kicking you out the church. Please don't do so. You will get hurt. Promise. In the name of Lord Jesus, you will meet Jesus. You will fear Jesus that day. You will meet your Lord through Christianity. You will be baptized by fire while we putting you out if you resist. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, amen. We will put you outside safe and sound if you don't resist. Please and thank you. By the time you're outside, probably in the middle of the dragging you out, the cops are very welcome to come in and pick you up and chip you out. All charges will be filed. You come again. I'm just saying, people that take these bad decisions, it don't matter what religion is. You don't interfere with religion activities for no kind of reason. Listen, you take it somewhere else. 9 times out of 10, you'll pay for it one way or the other, son. It's just like, it's crazy.
Including Don Lemon and his producer, saying that they were impeding on the religious rights of the people there at the church. But Don Lemon...
Yeah, Jane, the whole reason why they went inside of the church within the allegations is because they said that the pastor was an ICE agent. Why? Why? Ain't that the most satanic shit? That's demonic, dude. That's one of the most realistic manifestation of demonic behavior, satanic culturism, 666 lovers of Lucifer, Luciferians, the church and Satan in full power on this motherfucker. Just saying, apparently. Listen, I don't know no Christian that is a rebel like myself. I do not know one Christian that call himself a rebel. Won't even dare thought of. I wouldn't even entertain. Listen, I would, if I hear that you even try to do that to the church. Even though if I disagree with the church, even if I disagree in the way churches are being handling, delivering the Christianism, the word of Lord Jesus Christ, even though I disagree and go in the grain sometimes, but Lord, you know, I surrender to you, Papa. You know, at the end, it's all good. God is good all the time. So with that said, you just listen. Grandma will hit you with the Bible, dude. Jane said, "Never mess with your grandma, dog." Like, listen, people say, "Yo, the youngins don't care." What? Nah, the grandmas don't care, dude. Because when the grandmas are swinging, all the youngins is like, grandma, stop. I'm saying, grandma, what the fuck you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with grandma in church. Oh man, grandma pull out the little 22. Pop, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, she will send you to meet your creator. Like, hallelujah. Then after, I'm just saying, don't go to church and do this shit. Just don't resist lawful ICE officer. There are having lawful operations in the streets, targeted lawful operations to keep the community safe. Let me not get to. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Let me shut up.
Said he was there as a journalist along with his producer. We know a magistrate judge reviewed the evidence in the case.
Did his producer got arrested too? Listen, go. We need to find out. Listen, that those in the team that are watching right now in the background, we need to find out who else besides Don Lemon is gonna get arrested from his team. Don Lemon, producer, cameraman, whoever was the connection between the protesters and Don Lemon and all these other shit. We need, all data on the cell phones, all texts, all chat rooms. We need it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like with this move, we are literally going to dismantle whatever they got going on in the left. Listen, if everybody needs to get arrested, pack them all up. Listen, buy an island in the middle of somewhere big enough to drop them all there. In my personal opinion, and I'm trying to be very respectful about it. In my personal opinion, you purchase an island in the middle of nowhere, just big enough, good enough to be developed and become part of society. But they have to do it themselves. Pay for, handle everything themselves. If it becomes a piece of garbage, trash land, that's on you. But United States of America should purchase an island that everyone that don't agree with United States of America as a United States citizen, you are a United States citizen. You are radical left. You hate United States of America. That means you don't want to be there. That means you don't want to be here. That means that you don't want to be part of United States of America and their benefits. That means that you, as a United States Constitution hater, if you hate the nation of United States of America to the point that you're willing to be violent, soon as it's confirmation that you are that type of individual, you get literally marked by the stamp of the beast and be pulled in the middle of the ocean. Figured it out. You don't want to be here, right? Or you get shipped out wherever around the world your family is. Not here, United States of America. Okay, you are a United States of America citizen. And you hate United States of America, its laws, its voters, its president, its government, to the point that instead of you having great conversations, you have disgraceful violence, and you try to submit the most powerful nation in the world, that it will smack you. Send the Air Force. Oh my God. Listen, you don't want to see black berets. Whoever is from the military, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to see black berets from the airborne parachute. You don't want to see the troopers raining down your state. Because if you become a type of state, and this is in the Constitution of the United States of America, Donald Trump could do with that state to secure it whatever the fuck he wants. And as far as you go, he will double the fuck up just to smack you in the mouth and let you know, listen, do you want to die? Is you stupid? That's all what Donald Trump is going to tell you. Why you think that the czar of Border Patrol is on Minneapolis? The last death, the petty guy, rest in peace his soul, was not shot by ICE. Was shot by the Border Patrol. Border Patrol is a higher rank than ICE. ICE is controlled by the Border Patrol. So we're talking about the Border Patrol, which is higher rank than ICE, shot someone because that someone, it was interfere with a legal lawful operation. He fought, he resisted, he had a gun, hands was everywhere, and he unfortunately, and it's a tragedy. He died due to his resisting an arrest, a lawful arrest. You agitating federal officers, lawful federal officers. You take it to the point that this is hands on you. You take it to the point that is hands on you. Unfortunately, God bless you soul. My guy, was your fault. The same thing with Renee Goods. Same thing, Alex Pretty. It's the same thing. God bless their soul. But if you interfere with lawful federal officers out there that they doing a righteous job, and you force it and push your legal limits, and you really, really play your cards wrong, 9 times out of 10, you are going to get hurt and get arrested. If not, it's a small chance that you actually gonna get killed and packed up lawfully. So I don't understand how people even would dare to try to force an issue against the government of the United States of America, because if the United States of America signed the Insurrection Act, if the president activate the Insurrection Act, is up to him how hard or how soft. Pause, no diddy, no doubt, but it's up to Donald Trump for how hard or how soft he gonna go on you with the military. He get the opportunity to check the catalog and see which one is the unit that he hasn't seen action for a long time, and he needs some fucking practice on your bitch ass. He'll send the dogs on you. Those that have been waiting for that fucking time to start, and you'll rescue the nation. It is military soldiers, demon dogs, that they can't wait to fix the problem. The chat don't understand. It's like angels and demons at the same time. They are angels. They want good. They fight for good, but they will go to the worst of the demonized shit to fix the problem. Because it gets to the point in society that you have to fight fire with fire. Fuck water. You fight. Oh, you think you crazy? Like he think he crazy. You have not seen crazy when you go against United States of America, huh? Again, Trump will look at you and be like, "Oh, I really don't want to do this shit." I know Trump will be looking at it in the TV screen. And he'd be like, "I really don't want to do this shit." Send them. Dead ass. That's my opinion. I'm listen, people. I'm telling you, I was raised on the Trump umbrella. We again, everybody that was somebody in the streets in the United States, in Puerto Rico, anyone that he was someone in the United States and Puerto Rico back then when we were growing up, we all look up to Donald Trump. What are you talking about? We pay attention to the man. We listen. He been right. He been right the whole time. So you're gonna go against the righteous force? Hold on. It's not just going against the force. You want to go against righteous force. Why? Huh? It's like stupid. Don't be stupid. Be smart. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. If you want to be all political, go the right way. Because at the end of the day, you go the wrong route, people gonna get hurt. It's that simple. Don't you think? Talk to me in the chat.
Find the charges for Lemon and his producer and a few other people who were there.
Oh, and his producer and other people was there. So was the camera guy the producer? Because if Don Lemon got arrested and the producer got arrested, did the cameraman is getting arrested? Questions. We got questions. Listen, the team, go on search. Fetch. Thank you so much, Ray. So much appreciated.
The Trump administration tried to appeal, and a federal judge also upheld the ruling that the charges were not allowed. Now, this would indicate that an arrest now has been made, an indictment must have followed. We've heard a statement, a tweet from the Attorney General who said that the arrest of Don Lemon and a few other people overnight were made at her direction. We're still waiting on the official details of that indictment. What we do know is that Don Lemon's attorney released a statement calling this an unprecedented attack on free speech, and we are expecting to see Don Lemon in court a little bit later here today in Los Angeles. Diane?
Trevor Alt.
Listen, you free speech. Jane, they don't work for no station but him. He every allegedly it all comes out of his pocket unless he has a contract with a private corporation that is financing. 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, will be Don Lemon's husband. You know, like in my opinion, that had to be his finances to run his YouTube program, his YouTube show. In my understanding, I could be wrong. At least he has a contract with a private corporation which is handling the finances to run the operations of his show. Unless if he don't have that, so 9 times out of 10, I believe that he's gonna be out of Don Lemon's husband and Don Lemon's bank account. Wait, again, being husband and husband. I guess they have joint accounts, but in also talking about that LGBTQ marriage. If I'm not mistaken, the federal court, if they didn't do it yet, but they considering make all LGBTQ community marriages illegal and criminal. I think, in my opinion, that's what I heard. That's the allegations. I could be wrong, but if that's happening, then I totally agree with the Superior Court and the federal court if they wanna, make void the LGBTQ community marriages. I know it's a hot take, it's a tough take that not a lot of people not gonna be agreeing with. Big shout out to Jane. Thank you so much, very so much appreciated. It's a take that a lot of people not gonna agree with and probably feel salty about it. But in my opinion, due to my morals and my line of righteousness, in my opinion, if the federal and Supreme Court void LGBTQ marriages and makes it illegal to marry. I don't know if they're gonna go as far as making gay behavior illegal. I listen, I'm only putting it in the air because that's the word of the streets. That's the allegations allegedly in Superior Federal Court. It's a line of United States of United States of America morals, like the morals, the foundation of United States of America. Like if you ask me, it's righteous due to the foundation of United States of America, the American culture, the Christian American culture, which this nation was founded in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. If you ask me, LGBTQ community marriage should be illegal. It should be criminal, be gay, in my opinion. All respects to you, I got family members that are gay. So, in my opinion, marriages between the same sex should be voided. Girls sports should be for girls, boys sports should be for boys. And if the boys don't cut it, don't make it, and can't cut it on boys sports, well, I guess they're gonna be like gamers or Call of Duty pros. You know what I'm saying? Sit down at your house for hours just playing Call of Duty, playing Apex, playing games for life, and play games. That's it. Which is a good thing, because again, I see a lot of people making a lot of money out of that. Not throwing no shade on being a Call of Duty player, but at the same time, you know, if it's different. Like, you know, even though some people call it esports, but it's really not a sport. It is Call of Duty is not a sport. It's a lot of people's gonna disagree with me about that, but Call of Duty, Apex, gaming, these not sports. You are sitting on a chair looking at your TV screen. That's not a sport. You moving your hands and your fingers. That's not a hand and finger sport. I don't know who the fuck you're talking to. So again, sports are sports, gaming is gaming, period. Esports is not even esports, it's gaming. You know, they try to make it look like esports for news or esports and stuff like that, marketing and stuff. That shit don't work, because the reality is the gaming is not no fucking sport. It's my opinion and reality at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, I cover both bases. It's reality and my opinion. You know? So again, it is hard for me as a human to understand why people want to be like Sodom and Gomorrah citizens. Do you know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? You know what Jesus Christ did to Sodom and Gomorrah? Read the Bible.
Thank you. And let's bring in ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer for more. Brian, last week a magistrate judge reportedly rejected bringing charges against Lemon. And now the attorney general says federal agents arrested Lemon at her direction. Why the change?
I think the change is just the avenue in which the...
And this is federal agents. This is federal agents. When they listen, people need to understand, you talking about, yeah, a secret grand indictment, right? In this case, Brian Kohlberger's secret grand indictment was run by the feds. It was in federal court, whatnot, but it was not a case that the feds was in charge of. It was in charge of Moscow PD. They just utilized the federal system to go through it, which, if you ask me, is sneaky and it should be illegal, in my opinion. You know what I mean? We could agree, disagree on that. But at the same time, when the feds get a secret grand indictment, it's a wrap. The feds don't play. Do you know the FBI got a 98%? 98% of wins. Whatever they don't win, they come back around and will win the second time. That's just status of the first time. But 9 times out of 10, if they don't win the first time, they will come around. They will win the second time. They re-indict you, which they can, and they could play. They could play with you for a long time. Pause, no diddy, no doubt, until they get you in, because they don't play. When they come for you, they already got you. It's different. When the federal government comes and arrests you, that means that everything that they have against you is finito. You are forced to plead out if you want your time to be decreased. Don Lemon, in my opinion, need to understand at this moment, he's been found guilty by the federal government. Now we just got to go through the process. Because as soon as we put this case on the hands in the proper hands in the court, it's a wrap. Based by this law, this law, this law, this is what he did, this is what he did, this is what they did. It's a wrap. It's undisputed. So 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, in this case, you are going to see a Don Lemon pleading out and taking a guilty plea to have a reduction of time. That's what I see coming pretty soon. Pay attention.
DOJ is pursuing charges. They first initially went through a judge to see if they could okay not only the arrest, but I'm assuming also okay any kind of search of Don Lemon as well as potentially his producer to see if there's additional evidence of other charges. Now it seems like they're going for an arrest through a complaint, and then I think they're going to try to secure an indictment either by already presenting this case to a grand jury rather than going through a judge, or doing so in the future. We'll see whether or not an indictment is unsealed today to see what path they went about arresting Don Lemon.
The case centers on the FACE Act, which makes it a crime to intimidate or interfere anyone exercising their religious freedom at a place of worship. How does that apply to the protesters in this case compared to journalists who covered the protest?
Before he said that, what's going on here, the video, his own content, in my opinion, the problem that Don Lemon has, that his own content sentenced him. Is no freedom of speech when you are breaking the law. I want people to understand you cannot utilize your rights of freedom of speech to break the law, because as soon as you break the law, it stops the freedom of speech. Jane said he was making a protest though. No, you said it yourself in the earlier comment. You don't protest in church. You're not, as Don Lemon, a journalist, you don't go aggressively and invade the church with aggressive protesters. They are cursing, disgracing, intimidating, and as long as the people inside of that service in church, they feel afraid, they will scare for their life, is a wrap, because it's gonna be witness after witness after witness indicating to the judge and the jury that Don Lemon actions with the people that he was coming with, which we saw and witnessed through the footage that Don Lemon went in there with a very aggressive and disrespectful, disgracing the church, the separation of church the separation of government. This is a political issue that is being handled aggressively. It's not even a peaceful protest. You are allowed to protest peacefully. If the cops would not stand down for this, they would all be arrested with state charges right there and then, okay, for disturbing the peace. Just that by itself. Everything else, it will come federal. But then they'll drop the state charges because they will hold them in jail, probably without bail, until the feds come in and pick them up. But due to the Minnesota, we don't have that collaboration between the state and the feds. The state police and sheriff stand down, because I bet you the 911 calls were made from people inside of the church. And then sheriff and police, local sheriff and local police, stand down while this is happening, allowing a crime to occur, because federal crime is the FACE Act, and the local charges would be disturbing the peace. And if they resist the arrest for disturbing the peace, then they're going to be, you know, disturbing the peace and resisting the arrest, either with violence or no violence. At the end of the day, either way, either or, if it would be handled proper by the book of law, they would have got arrested the same day without no bail until the feds come and pick them up. Because they would understand the gravity of the crime that they are committing, which is a federal crime, but in the local sphere, they could only arrest them for disturbing the peace and probably resisting arrest. Hopefully, I was clear to Jane in my commentary. But he went into a church. That's the problem. That's not a protest. Because it's illegal for you to protest in church. It's illegal for you to protest in the hospital. It's illegal. Is I don't know, Jane. You making me tell you again, like, it's illegal in United States of America. My sister from the UK. Here in the USA, it's illegal to protest in any kind of way and fashion. In church and in hospitals, they are protected. Oh, in schools. If you go and protest in college, you have to peacefully protest, because as soon as you become aggressive, they put you as a hostile protester and you get carried out and put in jail. Is how it is in United States of America. I love the Constitution here. You know what I'm saying? That at least people could go and pray in church peacefully. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm just saying. Big shout out to Jane. I wasn't clear. Bad protest, not journalism, as he stated. It's bad though. You know what I'm saying? It's like we could save that for something that is more progressive, something that is more in peace, something that it would be smart. A situation that if we are in a peaceful protest, allow for the conversations, allow for the statements, allow for the speech to be powerful, because you will have you're gonna be on the right side of history. You never want to be in the wrong side of history, because like when you put yourself on the wrong side of history, on the wrong side, like if you put yourself on the wrong side of history, it's not righteous, it's not right, it's not just, it's not okay. The society, United States of America citizens, we the people society do not accept that kind of behavior. Hopefully, my sister from the UK, Jane, Understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the best commentary that I could give you, my sister. I appreciate you for being here, having a great talk here in the chat. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Jane.
Yeah, so FACE stands for the freedom of access to clinical entrance. It makes it a violation not only to obstruct a person to going in and out of a clinic, but also there's a section that involves violating a person's ability to exercise their First Amendment in regards to freedom of religion and religious worship. I don't see how it applies here. I think it's a bit of a stretch. I think that's why not just one, but two judges rejected it, because you would have to show that Don Lemon had the intent, I think, to at least obstruct individuals from being able to come in and out of that worship in violation of their constitutional rights. But fortunately for him, he live streamed this. And typically I would tell people, don't stream things, you're getting close to committing a crime. But this live stream would show his intent, that he intended not to obstruct people or deny their religious rights, but actually to use his First Amendment right to try to see what was going on, ask people questions, and get the reaction. So I don't really see a violation of the FACE Act here.
The Justice Department's also.
I totally respect his take. I really do respect his take in this case, but literally soon as he said that, unfortunately he streamed committing a crime, you have all the proof that you need that it was a crime committed because you recorded it. But I totally understand the double psychology. Like, well, I tell you that, yeah, the Fed has all the proof of him committing a federal crime, but at the same time, you know, he should have freedom to speech in church and freedom to protest in church. No, you don't. You might as well go somewhere else around the world, because here in the United States of America, it's not allowed. It's criminal. It's federal. Capiche?
Also using a Reconstruction era law meant to crack down on the Ku Klux Klan. They argue journalists can't conspire to violate worshipers' rights. How strong is their case?
Yeah, so this law was meant to stop people, as you said, from the KKK, of disguising themselves and conspiring with.
Yeah, but the point is, I understand that you're going to mention the KKK because you don't want to be compared with the KKK. But unfortunately for you, in this case, it seems like, due to the footage, that you did exactly what the KKK did to black churches, which is invade, intimidate, curse a community that is just praying to Lord Jesus Christ, or praying to whoever they praying to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't do that. It was used against the KKK because that's what is in record. But it's a law that is all for all citizens of the United States of America. It don't matter if you are from the Ku Klux Klan or not. You break this law in the same way it was used with the Ku Klux Klan, it's gonna be used against you. It don't matter if you black, it don't matter if you white, it don't matter. It do not matter. What it matters here, that this law should not be broken, and apparently, due to the footage that Don Lemon offered to the justice system, it seems that he put his own foot on his mouth. That's just my opinion.
Two or more people to inhibit or violate another person's constitutional rights. Again, if you look at this fact pattern, if you're speaking specifically to Don,
like, you cannot violate someone else's rights while you demanding yours. Let's just keep it just simple common sense. You cannot, by law, violate someone else's rights for you to fight for yours. Right there and then, your fight becomes voided because now you are interfered with someone that don't have nothing to do with your cause or against your cause. They don't. They ain't church. But it might be me. It might be my righteousness. It might be my righteousness. I'm just trying to be righteous. I'm just trying to be right. You know, we could disagree. She said, "You're back. Thank you." I'm just, you knows me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I totally understand if you come and send me a comment in the chat saying like, "J Rock, you are so wrong," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I know. Like, it might be wrong for you, but it's right for me. Like, respects." You know what I'm saying? Click like, subscribe, share the content. Stay here for the conversation. Listen, stay here for the coffee. Mm. Oh, mama, big coffee. It's rejuvenizing.
Lemon and his producer, I don't see what you're saying that the two of them conspired to violate someone else's rights through the use of disguise or any kind of means that would fall into.
He didn't use no disguise. He streamed it. He streamed it to the whole world to see. Stop.
The law. Again, it seems pretty clear. We all know who Don Lemon is. He's not disguising himself. We all know what his intent is there. He's trying to get information. Again, I think the issue of intent makes these prosecutions fall short, unless there's some other evidence that we don't see yet.
ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer, thank you.
All right. So, stop. Time for coffee and see what we talk. Big shout out to Jane. Thank you so much for being here. So listen, that was some breaking news. I wanted to come with the breaking news. I'm not gonna make it for too long, but if everything is as is being alleged, in my opinion, Don Lemon is in big trouble. In my opinion, he must plead guilty to get a reduction or get a possible probation. Second offense, it'll be way worse if it ever occurred after pleading out on something like this. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my sincere opinion, Don Lemon have to plead guilty to have a reduction of time and possibly getting probation, probably getting, I don't know, couple of years smack on the wrist, then probation, just for him to learn a lesson. You know what I mean? But big shout out to Jane. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for your support as always. We're gonna be here paying attention to the news cycle to come back and have more conversations about what happened here, the Don Lemon arrest. We're gonna be talking about it in the future. Tonight, I'm gonna try to go live in the big channel with the Idaho for Brian Kohlberger case. I've been postponing it for few times, but listen, I'm busy. I'm busy. When I get there, I get there. Listen, thank you. Come again. But big shout out to everyone watching. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciated. Thank you, Jane. No, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel with your great commentary. I'm gonna see you in the comments as always to have great conversations about all cases that we are interested, as the Kylie Rodney case, Idaho for Brian Kohlberg case, and now the arrest of Don Lemon, which we're gonna be having conversations about in the near future. Let's the news cycle put it together. Big shout out to everyone watching on the replay. Thank you so much. As always, If your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the black sheep, J Round Point. And as always, listen, believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I'm nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the best decisions in your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself and take care of yourself so you'll be able to love and take care of others. As always, I'm going to leave you with your favorite song, my favorite song. You're so sexy. Love ya.